right, so welcome back. Today we are going to work with improper fractions and mixed numbers. This is the second part. In our last video, we had a mixed number and we learned how to take that mixed number and convert it to an improper fraction. In this video, we are going to learn what to do if we have an improper fraction and how to put that into a mixed number. Okay, so just a quick reminder, the numerator, once again, that's the top number of the fraction. It's how many parts, how many pieces that you have. The denominator, bottom number of the fraction, it is the number of parts or pieces that equal the whole. All right, so improper fractions, once again, they have a larger top number than the bottom number. So the numerator is larger than the bottom. An example, the 5/3, that means I have 5 1/3 pieces. 9/4, I have 9 1/4 pieces. In our last video, we talked about how if we had 5 1/3 pieces, so 5 1/3 pieces, that would look like I would have 5, 1, 2, 3, 1/3 pieces. So 5/3, and that's what that would look like. So 1 2/3, because we have one whole and then we have 2/3 of another number. And that leads us into remember what a mixed number is. So a mixed number has a whole number and a fraction. So if we're using the number 1 3/4, then the whole number is the 1 and the 3/4 is a fraction. Put those together and you have a mixed number. It's basically where fractions and whole numbers meet. Okay, so let's say we have a mixed number and we need to go ahead and put that into an improper fraction. All right, so our first one is going to be 1 1/2, and then we're going to do the example 2 2/3. All right, so let me go back to my drawing here, and we want to figure out how many pieces. So we're basically doing this right here, but we are going backwards. Okay, so we're going to go backwards with that. All right, so our first example is 1 1/2. So 1 1/2. Looking at this fraction or mixed number, I noticed that the 2 is the denominator. So that means I need 2 pieces to make a whole. Okay, so if I want to use circles, I can use circles. I can use rectangles, whatever, as long as the pieces are kind of equal. Let's use circles for this time just to be different. So I know that it's cut into 2 pieces because this right here tells me, hey, I have 2 pieces that make a whole. So 2 pieces. So I have 1 1/2. So there's my 1 right there. So that's 1. I also have 1/2 of another one. So I have this drawing, and there we go. So that's a beautiful half right there. So how many total pieces do I have? Well, I can look at this and I can see that I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. What size pieces? Well, they're half pieces. So I have 3 halves, 3/2. So looking at that one more time, I notice over here that I have 1 1/2. So I know that this right here says there are 2 pieces for every whole. I know that I have at least one whole, which is right here. So I have those 2 pieces right there because I have that whole thing. Then over here, I have 1/2 of another. So I have 1 out of 2 pieces, which is this 1 out of 2 here, which tells me that I have 1, 2, 3 pieces, 3 half pieces. Okay. All right, let's try that again with a different problem. Okay, so in this example right here, I have 2 2/3. So we're going to go back and we are going to just quickly get another one. New drawing. And once again, it was 2 2/3. So let me change that back to black. So 2 2/3. Okay, so there's my whole number. So I know I at least have 2 whole items, whatever it may be. And I know that they are cut into third pieces, right? So I'll go back to my rectangle here just because it's a little bit easier. So I know I have 2. So 1, 2, 3. I have all those pieces. 1, 2. So there's 1, 2, 3. I have all those pieces. So there's this part right here. But then I also have this 2/3 right here. So 2/3. All right, so how many pieces do I have total? So I want to put this into an improper fraction. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pieces. And of course, what size are they? They're third pieces. So I have 8 1/3 pieces. Okay. So just a reminder that the whole number tells you how many whole items you have, whether you're talking about candy bars, whether you're making fences, or you're talking about ribbon for a project. It doesn't matter what it is that you're talking about. You just know that you have 2 whole items, and then you have 2/3 of another one. So I have 8 1/3 pieces. Okay. Now it's your turn to try. In just a second, I want you to pause. Oh, sorry, I'll take that back. There is a way to do this with just numbers. Okay, so there is a way to do this with only numbers. You don't have to model out. It's kind of a way to help you reason out how to do it. If I am right here talking about this 2 2/3 pieces, in my head, I know that I can take that I have 2 items and there are 3 pieces each. So if I multiply that, 2 times 3 is 6. It should make sense. I have 3 pieces times the 2 whole that I have. So that's 6 pieces. Plus these 2 pieces left over down here. So that's why we get the 8 out of 3 pieces. In this other example, when we did the 1 1/2 right here, I know that I have 1 whole times those 2 pieces right there. So 1 times 2 is 2. Plus this 1 that I have left over. So 3 out of 2 pieces. So there is a way to kind of reason your way through it, as well as drawing the model. Now, it's your choice on how you want to do this at our level. Just know, as long as you have a way to be able to figure out, how to convert these either from a mixed number to an improper fraction or from an improper to a mix. Okay, so now it's your turn to try. I'd like for you to do this one right here. So we're going to see if you can figure it out one or both ways, either model or kind of reason your way through it. Go ahead and get ready to pause this video, and on a scrap paper or something like that, you can draw this out. I'm using the app called Canvas, and it is canvas.apps.chrome or canvas.apps.google, and you can just write directly on the screen. All right, so pause the video and see if you can figure out how to take 2 3/4 and convert that to an improper fraction. All right, so you're back. So that means you have already done this. So let's see if you got the answer correct. And so once again, it was 2 3/4. So let me change that back. So 2 3/4. Now, if I was just reasoning my way through it, I know that I have 2 whole items of something. Each one of those has 4 pieces. So I know that right there, if I can multiply those together, that gives me 8 pieces. Plus these 3 that I have left over, I should have 11 1/4 pieces. Okay, so let's draw that out and see if we get that. All right, so we have 4 pieces. So we're going to cut this into 4. So I'm just going to do it this way for now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 there. I know I have 2 items, the whole one. So I'm going to go ahead. That's my whole number. I have 2. So I'm going to go ahead and draw those first. Then I have 3/4 of another one. So 1, 2, 3. All right, let's see if our reasoning was correct. There's 4 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Another 4 pieces here. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 3 pieces there. So I have 11 1/4 pieces. So you can think about it in your head and try to reason it out like this, or you can just quickly sketch it out. Your choice either way, as long as you have a way to do it. All right. If you didn't get it right, see if you can figure out what you did wrong. And if you did, awesome. Keep going to the next one. All right. So on this last one right here, I'd like for you to try to do 3 4/5. Okay. So see if you can pause the video and write down what would this look like as an improper fraction. Okay. All right. So let's do this one again. 3 4/5. Hopefully you have your answer. Okay, so if I'm going to reason my way through it, let me start reasoning first here. Okay, so I know that I have 3 whole items times 5 pieces because I have 5 pieces in each one of those items. Well, that's going to be 15 pieces right there. Plus these 4 that are left over. So 3 times 5, I have 15. Plus those 4, I should have 19 1/5 pieces. Okay, let's model that out. All right, so I know I have 3 items. This is a little bit harder to draw with my finger here. So they're not going to be exactly even, but we're going to pretend that they are. So there's one, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and draw these out. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know that I have 3 entire, let's call them candy bars. Candy bars sound good today. All right. Okay, so I have all 3 of those. Plus now I have this fractional piece. I don't have a whole one. I have 4/5 of that one. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, count up our number of pieces. I have 5 pieces here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's another 5 pieces. Another 5 pieces. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19 1/5 pieces. This is where you're getting that 3 right here. You have your 3 whole numbers times those 5 pieces. And that's why we can quickly see that this is 5, 10, 15, plus those 4 left over. That's 19 fifth pieces. All right, so hopefully you have one way or even both ways of doing this, because on the next activity, we're going to try and see what you can do with it. Okay, talk to you soon.